How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. Started. Why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. Yo, what is up, people? How's everyone doing? Welcome to the final episode of the week. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful green week. I'm pretty sure I'm having a pretty green week so far. I think I'm on a nice little 3-day green streak, and it's all thanks to IPOs. IPOs have been wonderful for me. Markets have been really good too. Today market going back up. Yesterday market sold off a little bit, but market basically recovering. Let's say about half of yesterday's range. I mean, well, yeah, exactly. Look at that. Today's VWAP is exactly where yesterday's VWAP is on the market, so not bad at all. We did nosedive here in the after hour. Now, what happened over there? A little bit of a nosedive into the close of the 8 o'clock market. With hopefully that's not legitimate, but looks like the market actually might have taken a hit into the overnight market. Something happened, so we might need to go figure out why these markets are taking a okay, something did happen. Maybe some news at 8 o'clock. That would be pretty surprising to see 8 o'clock news. But wow. Sadly, I guess we're moving right back into where we started today on the market over here, and then we're gonna have to fight our way back up to the north side tomorrow, or is the market just going to begin the free fall Friday, which is what everyone, I guess I shouldn't say everyone, but some of us, John, I think John's gonna show up in the chat asking for free fall Friday. You guys know I'm always looking for a free fall Friday, but that's not gonna be a good thing for my swing trade, so I might have to manage some of my trades over here. Might even have to manage it right now in the overnight markets to see if I need to dump any positions before they turn even sour, or even get ready to turn red for me. Today we had some good opportunities on the swing account. Well, not opportunity, some good movement on the swing account. PL had a positive news and popped to the upside, but then that pop got slammed right back to the downside, so that wasn't fun to watch. So I used that to trim some size. RDW basically an inside day, but still showing me that buyers are willing to step up in the higher end of these ranges, which is a good thing. So a couple stocks still watching them move in my favor. Hood, another big one today. Wasn't really a big breakout or whatever, which is what I was loving to or hoping to see. A nice little red day over here on Hood. I'm guessing in the after hours maybe more weakness coming in thanks to the overall market sentiment that we're seeing. Did Israel Iran do something into the overnight market now that we're seeing some big down moves? So we're gonna have to figure that out. Prad, will you see us through the free fall Friday? There you go, guys. I told you John's gonna show up and he's gonna ask for a free fall Friday, and that's exactly what John's doing. Thank you, John, for expecting a free fall Friday, and you might actually end up getting it because the markets are taking a little bit of a nosedive over here, exactly into the end of the after hours. So I'm gonna have to figure out what happened. Maybe some news going into the political tension in the Middle East. That's what my guess is. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is, but regardless of that, we have a pretty decent watch list to go through. Most of the stocks are stocks that we have already been talking about, like Shopify, Elf, some of the swing trades and so on. Nvidia, we always take a look at the large cap, mega cap stocks, but right now the important stock for us is Oracle, the name that we talked about yesterday. Oracle set up exactly as I said it could for a long trade. For those of you who were watching the stream and you took my advice and you paid attention, Oracle did exactly that. For example, it was the not for example, here's the chart. Wait for the money trade from SMB Capital. You look for Oracle to push into the downside, into pre-market lows. You buy the pre-market low area, and then you take the breakout of the pre-market high. The pre-market high also matches with kind of the opening range 5-minute high, and all of that combined, you get a perfect move into the all-time high, and then a break above the all-time high for an even more extended move to the north side on the stock. There is a little bit of a SMB scalp over here to the downside. That's a rubber band scalp, but the stock didn't really move 3 ATR, did it? It didn't move 3 ATR, so I wouldn't say this is the rubber band scalp. It moved 12 bucks. It's about 2 ATR, 2.5 ATR. You could call that the rubber band scalp. You could have made a quick little buck or two on that trade, but I don't know if it was a worth one to watch. Overall, this was the setup that I was talking about after hours yesterday, and it played out perfectly. You got the stock moving above the after hour high in the pre-market. You got the stock testing the pre-market low, pre-market consolidation areas, finding support, finding buyers in that area, breakout of the pre-market high, which also lines up with the 5-minute high breakout, and an insane non-stop, no breaks, all gas move. Shout out to your boy Channel 5, Andrew Gallagher, I forget what his name was. I haven't watched his videos in a long time. Shout out to your boy Andrew from Channel 5. All gas, no brakes over here. Oracle ripping to the north side. So obviously number one priority tomorrow to see if there's any sort of a continuation trade on this name. Not that it's like a big earnings report revenue growth, but it was a huge revenue growth on cloud. It was record revenue increase on the cloud side, which is very surprising to see. Usually you think that more companies are going towards AWS or even maybe towards Microsoft's Azure, or is Oracle now the owner of Azure? I don't even know how it works anymore. But overall, you would think that Microsoft and AWS would be taking more partnerships and money away from some of these more legacy companies. But Oracle has been doing pretty good with providing AI and their server capabilities. That yesterday we were surprised to find out, or at least I was surprised to find out, that Oracle is hosting Temu and TikTok servers, at least for the North American side. So they're making a lot of money through China. What if Trump bans a China deal where TikTok and Temu are no longer allowed. Well, maybe it doesn't happen, right? Maybe this is part of the reason why that Trump actually came out and said the China deal is going in a good direction so far. Only Xi has to now come out and approve of the deal or something along those words. So this could be along with that whole idea that, hey, if the deals with China are gonna go through, maybe we don't have to worry about a possible more TikTok shakeout and a possible Temu shakeout, and that's why you're seeing investors roll back into Oracle. I mean, monster breakout over there today, a big gap up, so it'll be crazy to see if the stock can hold up above the previous all-time high. Ideally, you want to see it above 200, above 198 to 200. I would even say today's midpoint, which is 195.70. So 196, 195, somewhere in this range is where I'm expecting the stock to find buying in. So somewhere on the dips into that range low. Once buyers actually show up, I'll be patiently watching if on the dips they show up again to catch that move to the upside, and then taking that breakout of the high a day, which was around what, 202.50. Yes, today's high was 202.50. So taking that breakout of the high a day will be something to keep an eye out for on Oracle. So I'm just gonna leave this drawing in for now for me, because I think it'll just be way easier in the pre-market instead of me having to go through my notes. No, I'll not be lazy. I'll actually put it in my notes. Let's put in Oracle resistance 202.50. I think support is anywhere from 196 to 198, which is what was 198 again? That's the all-time high, previous all-time high. So anywhere from 198 to 196, I'm expecting support to show up. Once we start showing weakness under 196, that's when I'm gonna stop looking for a long tomorrow on this stock on a whole. Israel just struck Iran, so yeah, that is exactly what I was guessing about as to why QQQ and S&P 500 took a nosedive. Maybe it's time to add more defense names into our watch list. The aerospace and defense, LMT, RTX, Raytheon Technologies. Ooh. Okay. How come no one's talking about this? Jesus, let me clear my throat real quick. Raytheon Technologies, very close to its all-time high and very close to its 200-day moving average. And it's near its all-time high. And you got some tension around the world, with especially in the Middle East. Give me a second, chat. All right. Nope. Still got the scratchy throat. I love it. So Raytheon, if I remember correctly, Raytheon also helps Israel's Iron Dome in some parts creation or something. I can't remember if I'm true by saying that, but a lot of good things over here that I'm seeing from Raytheon Technologies just off the chart. And then on top of that, if you add the Middle East tension, you have another reason to look for this name tomorrow as a day trade. So let's quickly put in Raytheon Technologies, RTX, 142, was it? No, it's 146. It was 142. I second guessed myself. 142, staying above that level will be very important on this name tomorrow. Let's see if they can actually gap up above it, and then on which case all we have to do is see if the stock pulls back, and on pullback, does it actually find buying above 142? If it's finding buying anywhere above 142 on a pullback tomorrow, 143, 144, 145, it's a no-brainer long from there on out, right? Wait for the pullback, wait for buyers to actually show up, take like maybe the previous 3-minute bar high or the previous 5-minute bar high to get back long. Or just wait for a consolidation and then get back long. As long as buyers are showing up above 142, which is a previous all-time high, you have proof that there is a new buying momentum on the intraday. then the daily, and then the swing will have to prove itself over time. So we'll see how this one plays out. It just went up to a high priority name when we weren't even looking at it. And sadly, obviously, markets are going to not be doing well when you have potential scare across the board on the markets over here. Let me take a quick little look at my portfolio. I already know this is not going to be the best. Yep, we got some pullbacks over here. We got a lot more names heading back down. UPST, might be time to sell UPST over here. Yeah, time to sell my UPST. Take a loss on that one. Market's pushing pretty lower after hours. Not a good thing, chat. Not a good thing at all. But only thing deep red for me right now is UPST. The rest of them are fine. So watching UPST. Let's quickly go check out UPST on the daily chart and see. Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. We did get a good move overall, but this is now just a failed breakout, and the stock is now after hours trading near $52, pushing back almost to its earnings anchored VWAP. It's 21 moving average. I mean, take a quick little loss here, and then I could always come back in if buyers show themselves again. Right now, you can already see the markets being pretty weak, not good for holders. So you want to take that exit and walk away. There's a seller chasing the stock down at the moment too, which is wow. Okay, that's great. Oh, didn't fill me yet. Probably because the price is still going down. We'll see how it plays out. Market's getting smoked. Thank you, Israel. Fucking hell, man. God damn, Middle East just can't keep it together for a little while. We were just about to break all-time high, and Middle East has to just screw it all up for us. God damn it. Alright, let's continue down the watch list. Let's actually go to the names that are reporting tomorrow, or sorry, tonight, because tomorrow, usually Friday, it's pretty boring. Tonight after hours, we got an earnings report from Adobe and RH, Restoration Hardware. Restoration Hardware, a name that's, very much impacted with tariffs. So any good news on the tariff side is going to really help them out, because they were actually turning a corner with their earnings report. If I remember correctly, this earnings report, we were reading it on stream, and that ended up giving you a pretty good move from the long over there. And then this earnings report, we're gonna read it over here very soon. And that one, obviously, let's see if my order filled. Order filled. Nope, didn't look like it filled. Anyways, Restoration Hardware and Adobe are the two names that we're looking for tonight after hours on the report. So let's put up ADBE using Benzinga. ADBE 5.79 versus, where is it? No, 5.87 versus 5.79 beat. 5.06 versus 4.96 beat. Total revenue up 11%. Digital media revenue climbed up by 11%. And digital experience revenue climbed up by 10%. At the end of the quarter, Adobe had 19.69 in remaining performance obligations. Adobe started to repurchase 8.6 million shares during the second quarter. Company ended with $4.93 billion in cash and equivalents. Adobe's AI innovation revolution is transforming industries, enabling individuals and enterprises to achieve unprecedented levels of creativity. And I will agree with that statement 100%. Without Adobe's AI capabilities, I wouldn't be able to complete half of the what's it called, the thumbnails that I create for you guys on the stream over here. But I also will not be able to possibly land a nice little part-time gig that I'm trying to land. So it'll be pretty cool to see how that one plays out, because it's also going to introduce me to some absolute trading legends. So that'll be pretty awesome experience to play out with. All I have to do is make thumbnails. Let's go. I enjoy making thumbnails for myself anyways, so if I get to do that for somebody else who's way smarter in trading and actual asset management company, that would be pretty cool. But nothing final yet. I'm just still in the paperwork. We're still in the talks. Guidance: Adobe expects third quarter revenue 5.88 to 5.93 versus 5.87, so pretty much above estimates. Expects 5.15 to 5.20 versus 5.10, also above estimates. Raised expectations for the full year: 23.5 to 23.6 versus 23.3. That's the prior one, 23.3 to 23.5. So okay, fine, you raised it a little bit, not bad at all. Adjusted full earnings of $20 to they make money, man. $20 EPS per year is kind of a crazy number, isn't it? Do they give out a dividend? Because, come on, this is crazy to be just printing money like that. According to Benzinga Pro analysts, full year revenue 23.44 and full earnings EPS of 20.36. So they're above estimates on that side too. We continue to invest in the AI innovation, and I will thank you to continue to do that, because AI from Adobe has been an absolute life changer for me, and I can't wait to keep trying out some of the newer stuff they've been working on. Sadly, however, at the report, I think the stock actually had somewhat of a nothing burger move. You saw growth of 11%, but overall the stock just popped up and then came back right below today's low and just traded sideways or slowly trickled back into the lower end of the ranges. So not the most bullish move off of a growing report. Very sad seeing that on a company that I actually use on a day-to-day basis, and I would have loved to see a breakout of this area and a push into the 200-day moving average and higher, but I guess that's not where we are. And it's on top of that with the market Middle East environment that we are having to face probably tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if the stock is really struggling to have any momentum to the upside. So let me quickly check what Adobe's PE ratio is. 27 for a fucking company who makes $20 per year. Their PE is only 27. That's insane. I don't see how the stock is not a dip buy for a swing, for a long, for any sort of a term. But for the day trade, you need buyers to really step in and show you, because right now we're not seeing that in the after hours. This is absolutely a joke. You make 20 bucks a year, your PE is 27, and you're below the 200-day moving average. I can show you a stock whose PE is way higher, who make way less, and they're trading at the all-time highs, and they're holding above the 200-day moving averages. So it's kind of a ridiculousness to see where money is always being put into. That's why I say I'm not an analyst. I'm just a trader, and I have to follow my rules. If my rules are saying, hey, we are below the 200, you have to be careful for the swing, then I have to be careful, no matter how bullish I think this company is overall. I mean, I guess the fact is you don't need Adobe as much anymore. There's so many replacements for Photoshop online, like PIXLR or CapCut, and they're almost cheaper or even free, and they have equal AI capabilities or even more at this point. So I guess I understand why Adobe has been losing market share. But I'm still a big fan of Adobe. Maybe it's just me being an old school Photoshop fan that still uses it, and I think the price point is not bad. For 30 bucks a month, you get to use their whole Adobe suite, so it's kind of not a bad deal if you ask me, especially if you're into the whole media creation. Anyways, coming back to the stock market, as I said, tomorrow for a day trade, need buyers to really defend tomorrow. If we're into 400 and not staying above 400 tomorrow, then there is just absolutely no long. So that'll be my first area to watch if there is any long opportunities on this name. Are you saying Hood's dropping in the after hours right now? How low can Hood go? Hood's not going to go low at all. Hood's going to be chilling. Don't worry about Hood. Adobe, if it doesn't hold 400 tomorrow, I think that's basically all bets off for the long side on this name. That's just the even psychological level for me to keep an eye on, and makes things a lot easier. Makes things a lot easier to watch on this name tomorrow. It's also a $400 name with only average volume of 3 million shares, so expect it to be spready. Not the cleanest moves overall, but on earnings days it does get a volume spike, so that does make it a lot better overall. But yeah, gotta keep Adobe on watch. Maybe not as high as a priority because I'm not really a fan of that after hour move. I need to see pre-market show me a way better setup to be interested in that name. Restoration Hardware, equal story as Adobe, you know, still below the 200-day moving average. A company that is, I guess, you know, at one point very loved by people, eventually given up on. I think the COVID era really kind of blew up for this stock because they were buying all things for house, like furniture, work tables, IKEA tables, and kind of things. So this company really blew up during the COVID era and then really got destroyed. And then what is it? Tariffs kind of hurt them overall too. So pushing back below the 200-day moving average, right, with the whole China scare. But their earnings reports weren't bad, if I remember correctly, the last time. Oh, never mind, they were horrible. This time, 243% beat on EPS and barely losing on the revenue side. So it looks like they were expected to lose on EPS and they actually reported a growth. Let's continue finding out more about their earnings report using our friends over at Benzinga. Worst housing market in 50 years. Earnings still beat despite that happening. 813 versus 818, we kind of saw that already. Revenue still up 12% despite the fact that they missed revenue estimates. They still grew 12% year over year. While we expect, where's the EPS? No EPS anywhere. Okay. Outlook RH anticipates second quarter revenue to be growing between 8 to 10% and a full year 2025 revenue of 10% to 13%. RH expects to generate 250 to 300 million in free cash flow in 2025. Company estimated that an adjusted capital expenditure will decrease to a range of 200 to 250 million in 2026 and 150 to 200 million in 2027 and beyond. Due to significant and unexpected Liberation Day tariffs announced on April 2nd, shipment and resources efforts were disrupted globally. We believe the disruption will negatively impact the revenues by approximately 6 points in the second quarter and will be recovered in the second half, which will reflect in our outlook. So overall, they're basically factoring in the whole tariff nonsense, and they're also guiding up as a recovery plan for the future, for the second half of the year, and the market makers, the investors, everyone appreciating that they at least have some sort of a contingency plan over here for the second half. But I would have liked to see if they would have given us on the other side too. What if things got worse? What is something that you guys are ready to do if things got worse? And we didn't really see anything like that on the report. So that's not really as as interesting for me. But still, overall, you know, RH, a very good stock to watch for the day trade if you ask me. Liquidity will suck. It will be spready, but for sure watching this one for some you know, longs for now. We'll see if it's going to get too extended tomorrow, then potentially some sort of a short back into mean reversion territory. So if the stock is into last month's high, I think there is a mean reversion there. But if the stock is giving us some sort of a very equivalent trade to Oracle today, where it gets above after hour highs in the pre-market, and then it gives you off the open a dip into the pre-market lows, and then a breakout above the pre-market high. So that's something to keep an eye out for, to join the trend on the stock tomorrow to get long. So long here and then long here for the ride up. Let's see if that one actually plays out. But if we're actually opening up here somewhere, then a failure to stay above this area will be a short, and a failed break to get under that area will be a long. So pretty simple ideas into the highs. No one, I don't really need to, you know, explain that one too much in depth. If you guys should be able to understand that one. Come on, you guys are not that stupid, right? So RH for sure, another one that's very important tomorrow. I think you could just kind of be simple and say for now 200 under over, but 200 is actually a lot lower. I don't think we should even see 200 tomorrow. This little consolidation will be very important. That hold right of 208, I'll be watching how 208 plays out. Earnings view up is at 205, possibly even a dip into 205, and a hold to 205 gives you a trade in the range between after hour high and between 205 for us to take advantage of. So those are a couple scenarios, some permutations to play out. Talking about permutations, you know, maybe it's even worth for you guys to take a picture of the chart over here on RH's after hour move, give it to an AI, and then give the earnings report to the AI, and ask it for the possible permutations for the stock. That would be a pretty cool idea to test drive. So a quick little idea for you guys to try out on your own time. Okay. Continuing down the watch list, I don't know if I need a bigger watch list than this at the moment. I think I have a pretty decent watch list already. But let's just quickly scan for some stocks over here. Datadog, oh, okay. That's a pretty good looking chart on Datadog. Let's see if Datadog can break out tomorrow. I saw it actually on the Center Point tweet, so I don't really know what exactly Datadog's move was about, so I'm gonna have to go back to that page. Where is it? Where's that page? Right here. Why did you put Datadog on my radar? Up 3% after Needham raised this price target on the stock to 140. So it was just a price target raise overall. It doesn't mean that there might be some momentum tomorrow, and given the overall market sentiment right now that we're watching, Israel launches strike on Iran in a major escalation in a standoff over Tehran's atomic program. So Israel and Iran are going at it. Let's go. I love to see that. So these guys are fighting. Time to just hit that sell all button, or what, chat? Time to just hit the sell all button. Where's my order, and why am I not filled yet? Hello? Sell my stock now. Oh, that's why. Because it wasn't on the market. It was in the extended market. It wasn't in the overnight market. I was not on the right market order type for that order to execute. That makes a lot more sense. Anyways, Datadog, coming back to you guys. Datadog is something to keep an eye out for. I think this one could be interesting for the swing for the day if it sets up 124 breakout, lines up with the 200-day moving average, and it looks eerily similar to what Tesla's breakout before its insane rally looked like. So it was also around the 200-day, had a nice range around the 200-day, and then it broke through the 200 and just ripped to the north side. So watching this one for sure for both opportunities, day and swing. Datadog near 124. Continuing down the watch list, GME, big down move today, as expected. But I'm not sure if there's another day 2 trade here on this name. Watching pops for, yeah, I'll keep an eye out on the pops and so on to see if sellers do show up. But I don't think there is really a day 2 trade as important as some of these other names for us. Let me just delete some of the names that are not as important at all, so you know, I'm not worrying about them tomorrow. Wow, Dave & Buster is right back to yesterday's high and looking like it wants to you know, blast off. So maybe watch Dave & Buster's a little bit. I believe GME SJM Smuckers is going back up. Not bad at all, but I don't think there's a day trade for me in there. Obviously watching IPOs, and the rest of the names are important. Okay, GME, I think, as I mentioned, not really a trade there for me to keep an eye out for, but 23 should be resistance. Let's see if that resistance plays out on pops for us to look for a short. Voyager gave you a breakdown below yesterday's low. This is an IPO, and looking for that continuation, baby. It's as simple as that. Just keep looking for a nice little setup to get short into. There was a setup right here, opening range breakdown. You could, not really an opening range, lower day breakdown, a short right around here, which gave you a good continuation into the close. Let's see if we get a pop tomorrow for us to short into. And if you guys remember, I said the stock shouldn't really get above yesterday's VWAP. Did it? Off the open, it didn't get above yesterday's VWAP. All through pre-market, it didn't get above yesterday's VWAP. Right here, it tried to get above yesterday's VWAP and then clearly failed. That's your short trigger right there to risk that high. And then you could have added on this little clean momentum down move and another little add spot for you to continue to the downside. So nice short on Voyager to take part in. I was too busy with the newer IPO today, so I didn't really watch this one at all. But had I been watching it, I believe I would have caught this one for sure. But looking for the move tomorrow also. Look for the pop back into today's VWAP. Look for the reject around today's VWAP and then a move back to the downside. Or some sort of an opening range breakdown. So Voyager, Circle, all the IPOs on watch again. CHYM, another stock to watch tomorrow. It's a brand new IPO today and a name that I actually traded today. Speaking of which, I didn't even talk about the stocks that I traded today. Let's quickly show you guys my stocks on the day today. CHYM, my best winner, had a quick little long scalp, but the bigger trades were the shorts. So having a nice short there, having another short in this area, and then another short in this area, and then another short in this area. Overall, this short was just kind of a small win, but these shorts right here were the big wins and made my money for me today, thankfully, because I did end up losing on the other two stocks that I traded. SMR, this is your nuclear name, something that you might want to watch tomorrow. SMR, Oklo, we'll talk about these very quickly. But SMR very strong today, above 41.50. Oklo was pretty strong too, and you know, we'll be watching to see if 43 will have a breakout. Nuclear is already the problem between Iran and Israel right now, that they're bombing each other over it. And nuclear is also one of the more important reasons why energy and AI will be or nuclear is needed to be powering AI. So that's another reason why this is important. So maybe we'll actually see a breakout above 43 tomorrow, and instead of a down move with the rest of the market, which is what's happening at the moment. So be careful to see how it plays out. Either way, I think there's going to be a trade on either direction, and these stocks are obviously setting up like they want to go parabolic. Like SMR just now had its breakout into an all-time high, so this could very easily start going parabolic and give you a monster long opportunity. So keep watching SMR, keep watching OKLO, and these guys don't want to fill me on my shares, and the stock just keeps going lower. Overnight market sucks. The liquidity sucks. There's like 2 shares on the bid. I'm not hitting the bid with 2 shares. What are you talking about? Overnight market liquidity sucks. All right. So watching all of these names tomorrow for sure. SMR, loser, right? Looking for the long off the VWAP continuation into the high a day. Got a little greedy, didn't take any profits where I should have taken profits here, but I got too greedy, and then with the sharpness of that move, given how it looked like a double top, I thought I was basically bagged now. So I figured, why even give this stock all the way back to my actual stop? Let me just punch out and walk away from this trade. Sadly, that was the bottom. I put in the bottom. That's the Prad candle. Anytime you see a stock bottom out, it's in play, you can expect me getting stopped out right there. And it basically reverses right back up, and I get triggered. I'm a little tilted. Later on, it pulls back, but now it's showing me a higher low, and it's showing me a flat top. So this is looking very much like a bouncy ball now. You're getting a higher low, and another higher low here, and then a breakout. That is the setup that I'm basically imagining or envisioning on this stock at that moment. But you know, it doesn't really give me the higher high or equal high. It gives me a lower high, basically showing you the sellers are moving lower while the buyers are moving higher. Eventually this little pattern here where the buyers are still in the same area, but the sellers did eventually move again to the lower side, lower high. The patterns are kind of changing, and what I want to see on the chart is not actually there anymore. So looking at this, I said, yeah, I'm wrong, let me just walk away. Guess what? Bottom again, bottom ticked, and it moves right back to the upside. So both times I could have made money had I used my original stop at 41.40 and not really punched out of the position myself. Sometimes these are you know, what ruins a trade for you, where you don't hold it to your stop and you punch out yourself because you read too much into the chart. But sometimes these are also what actually help you from losing too much on a trade and taking some extra size on a trade when you can. So it's just a double-edged sword, and today that's exactly what it was for me. Wah, wah, wah. So you know, taking the loss and moving on sometimes might just be the right thing to do. Oh, Apple yesterday really weak over here. Looked like an opening range breakdown. Took that opening range breakdown, and then immediately market popped back up. I think market was actually bouncing off of VWAP at this time, so Apple bounced right along with it. Could have kind of taken a stop a little bit earlier maybe, or taken some size off a little bit earlier and then hold the rest of the size to the actual stop. Either way, I was okay with what I did on this one. I didn't have too much size either, so whatever I lost didn't really even matter to me. At the end of the day, the trade that I was waiting for very patiently was CHYM, and I played that one like an absolute beauty. I wish I was in the office for Oracle. I wasn't in the office to trade Oracle, so I was just watching it on the way to the office. The public transit was a little slower slower today than usual. So I got into the office around like 9:45 or so. By then, the stock was already flying off to the north side without me. And you know, I was just typing in the group chat for my Discord group the whole time, saying, hopefully you guys took it, hopefully you guys took it, because I didn't. And I was just crying the whole time. I was very sad. I'll be honest, I was very sad watching the stock move, because it was exactly playing out how I said it might yesterday night. So for those of you who watched me yesterday and you took advantage out of it, shout out to you. Shout out to you for taking advantage of that trade. Okay, let's move down the watch list over here. Circle, do we really need to talk about Circle for tomorrow? I think, you know, Circle basically is the 100 under over area. You could say 101.50, but you know, it's also 100. So 100, 101.50 under over, and if it does get below that, then that opens up some real good short opportunities. So you want to set your alerts for sure. Let's see if the stock sells into that area into the after hours, given the whole market tensions that we are going to be facing tomorrow most likely. And if that downside does open up, that's a very good short opportunity to watch out for. So you know what, I'm actually glad that I pulled up Circle. Also Voyager, it's not as high of a priority, but for sure going to be watching this one. The stock was supposed to be around $20 if I remember correctly, so for sure watching this one. CHYM, also not as high as a priority as Circle tomorrow, especially if Circle's breaking those lows, but as a day 2 IPO fade, I think CHYM is for sure a name to watch out. CoreWeave, yeah, I don't know if this is going parabolic anymore. I mean, it might later on, but it's consolidating and going sideways really well, creating almost a flag at the moment for another breakout and another move up eventually. But it's showing you that buyers are stepping up. It's not going insanely parabolic as everyone on Twitter and myself thought so. So might just have to be patient right now. For sure be patient on the short side. Market weakness could open up some downside, but I think you gotta respect how it's finding buyers up here, and I wouldn't be surprised if eventually it breaks out to the upside. 166.63, almost 3 cents away from a perfect number over there, but I don't think I see anything on CoreWeave for myself tomorrow. Palantir showing you a little bit of a failed breakout over here. That sucks because I bought that breakout. So Palantir giving you some false breakout. Robinhood is also not really a day trade for me at the moment, because it's just not giving you any real good catalyst to play off of. Neither are any of these other stocks. So let me just quickly scan through some of the watch list for the day trade names. Apple below 200 still. Boeing for sure with the whole Air India thing. Boeing on watch for another day trade opportunity tomorrow. If Boeing continues to stay under 200, which is just that psychological number, we can possibly, well, it didn't even get below 200 today, but if it does get under 200, potentially some more downside there. So keep an eye on Boeing. I saw VST. What's going on with VST? Nah, there's no trade there in my opinion. ACHR, no day trade there either. So SMR and OKLO, I guess, are the only other names, or TEM, another name. I mean, it's hard to predict what stock's going to be moving tomorrow, but you know, when stocks do report earnings, it makes my life a little bit more easier to predict that. And thankfully, we do have RH and Adobe for the earnings basket. Earnings basket going to start dying out very soon, and hopefully we get a nice basket catalyst movers overall. But hey, good list so far. We got GME, we got Adobe, RH, Oracle, RTX I think might be the big winner tomorrow, given the whole Middle East problem going on at the moment. And the overall market might just give you a good short for us to be involved in. Barket in the chat. Barket asking for me to take a look off any stocks today. You asked for Adobe. We already talked about that one. NBIS, another NBIS today. Let's go take a look at where did it move today. It didn't really do anything from yesterday, but it is doing maybe something that you want to see it do, right? It is showing you buying still at the previous day's lows, and showing you that buyers are stepping up. It tried to get below the 5-day moving average. Well, you could say it closed below the 5-day moving average. So that's not the most bullish sign out there, but it's also not the most bearish chart looking overall. So I think this is fine for now. If your average price is below 45.50, I think you're still fine, because any action in this area is going to slowly bring the earnings VWAP up, slowly bring the 21-day moving average up, and slowly bring the 9-day moving average up, at which point, after the moving average catches up with the lows of the stock, I think you can expect another breakout momentum move or so on to the upside. Usually that's how I see it play out on the intraday chart. I'm not sure if it actually plays out that way on the daily chart, but usually you hear those anecdotes, I guess you call them, right? I think they're called anecdotes, where you know, it's the heuristic, I guess, more of a good word to use there, is things like this are universal. If you see them on the intraday charts, there you can also see them on the daily charts. You can also see them on the weekly, on the monthly. You can see them on all time frames. It just, you see them just way less of them, I guess. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I'm just a new swing trader. I'm just trying to show you how I situate myself on a day trade, and I think that's what I can kind of picture happening on NBIS here. A nice little catch up of the 9-day moving average, a nice catch up of the 21-day moving average, and the earnings VWAP, which is basically the start of the move. The stock started going higher because of its earnings move overall. So some sideways action is not bad at all in my opinion. But if we do start holding below 48, you might want to be a little worried. And then if we start holding below 45, then it's almost like, okay, did I really watch the stock go all the way back when I was so deep in the money? So maybe take some profits here, depending on how much of the position you have, right? Lock in some profits. No one went broke when they're locking in profits, but you also want to make sure that you're trailing to an EMA, maybe like the 21 EMA, or like the 50-day moving average. If you are playing a much bigger picture, maybe the 50-day moving average. But if you are not playing that big of a picture, honestly, if you took the breakout and the 21-day moving average is now just getting above the breakout, your stop is basically break even. So if you are not worried about losing fees on this trade, then you have no reason to mess with this trade at all. All you have to do is wait for the stock to eventually close below the 21-day moving average, maybe somewhere over here, maybe it's somewhere in the 90s and in the hundreds, right? We don't really know how much the buying's gonna appear, where it's gonna appear, how it's gonna play out. Look, for example, it got below the 21-day over here, and the last time it got back above is you know, how big of a period was that? Let's quickly check out. That was about a 55-day period overall, and you got to capitalize. Where is it? Right here. And you get to capitalize about a 40% mover on that you know, trail. So potential breakout setup or some setup here, and if you just trailed it to the 21-day moving average, you never really worry about it. So it just really depends of how much money you have in this trade, how much money do you have left on the side, what other positions are you interested to look into, is this a lot of capital that you want to lock in some profits? If you want to, nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with looking to lock in some profits. However, I don't think this is extremely extended from the 50-day moving average. It's 9 ATRs from the 50-day moving average. It was a little extended here. It's not as extended down here now, right? So some consolidation sideways, give it some breathing room, and maybe you'll just be lucky into some really big winner over here on NBIS. So just be patient, in my opinion. If you took the breakout, your stop should be break even at this point. But if you want to lock in profits, maybe you can use the 9 EMA trail. You can use the current area to lock in some profits because the stock already got below the 5-day moving average. But you still should be at least 50% or more, in my opinion, trailing to the 21 EMA. Obviously, everything is not financial advice. Don't sue me if you lose money on this one. Don't sue me, baby. I'm only giving you ideas how I would position and how I would manage the trade. Shopify having a big pullback. I mean, it had an insane move yesterday, but pulled right back today. Failed breakouts. Breakouts are not working at the moment, chat. So you got to be very, very careful with using that as a strategy. So breakouts aren't really doing the best, you know. And if you get caught up in it, you might just get ruined with this whole market dump with the whole the Middle East fear that we're seeing at the moment. This is also somewhat of a double top short sale on the market. I wouldn't be surprised by seeing short sellers using this to pile into the market for a swing short. So just be careful. Clearly breakouts are not the setups to be playing at the moment. Ooh, stocks are going down big time. Everything's selling. Oh, lordy lord. As long as PL, RDW don't sell, which they aren't at the moment, I'm okay with it. But everything else is going down. Yikes. I'm venting to my Discord group really quick about the whole nonsense that we're seeing on the market. Market is melting down, Barstool. Thank you, Barstool. Yes, I can see that the market is melting down. Market is getting slapped. Everything SQQ is up. TH, shut up. Stop being an idiot. You know SQQ is obviously the inverse of the market, so obviously it has to go up. Come on, TH. Stop being stupid like that. Okay, guys. Obviously, since this kind of changes everything, none of this maybe even matters tomorrow. You might have to just be watching what the overall sentiment is. Now it's all about defense names to the upside. It's all about oil names to the upside. XOM. Possibly giving you a good breakout tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that breakout actually has very good momentum to the upside. So watch out, XOM, uranium name, nuclear names, defense names. This is now the new, hold up, let me go check out what my buddy is saying over here. Those are videos. I gotta watch those later. But the market clearly, I'm still debating as to do I just take my losses right now, and if I want to get back in, I can get back in. I'll have to figure that one out very quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna cut some of my positions right now, chat. Before the losses get extended, I'm cutting my SMCI here, and I can add it back when I need to. I'm cutting the Bitcoin. We're cutting Bitcoin because Bitcoin double top failed. Garbage. Okay. Cut Bitcoin. We cut SMCI. Wait, why did that not sell? Why did that not sell? Hold up, chat. We gotta figure this one out. Oh, that's because I'm using the wrong order type again. Lol, 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 lol. Sell all. Next, review. Overnight market. Review. Submit. Close position. Thank you. What else is left to sell? I'm gonna hold on to my Amazon a little bit because I might buy the dip on Amazon. CELH might have to go. Nope, CELH is... Where is it? Where are you now, CELH? 40? You're fine. You're fine. Where's Dell? 110? You're fine. TM is fine. DG is fine. Amazon's fine. Upstart needs to go. Upstart, you gotta go. Upstart gotta go. Little management of positions live on stream for you guys. Little position management live on stream. Upstart basically below the 21-day moving average into its VWAP. Maybe I have to see what happens with this one. My niece just goes, let's see who's gonna run faster to bed. That's so cute. Holy man, why Iran has to ruin everything for us. So guys, like I said, most of these levels might not even be in play tomorrow, depending on the news, depending on the bounce overnight, depending on what Trump's gonna say, depending on what Trump's gonna do. We don't really know what the levels and the opportunities are gonna be, but it doesn't hurt preparing for it. And I think the more important names will obviously be your oil and your defense names. So be prepared with those ones most importantly, and have fun on the market, because I think we are getting blessed by the market gods with a free fall Friday. I think the IPO calendar is dead until the 18th of June. So on the 17th of June, we'll talk about those two IPOs. Tomorrow for the economic calendar, nothing really on the important side. We got some Michigan sentiment numbers at 10 o'clock. Possibly could move the market, but the things that could move the market are already moving the market, baby. You got the VIX spiking up to the 18s. You got the markets dropping down 1.5% or so, and everything getting destroyed. Dip buying has been working, and retail investors know that quite well. I mean, yes, dip buying is obviously a lot better than taking breakouts. So breakouts are not working at all at the moment, and have been very, very painful for people. I mean, I'm very surprised Palantir is still above 132 over here in the overnight market. See, Palantir is not worried about this overnight action at all. Palantir's chilling. They're not selling off at all. If anything, it's just the large cap, because the market's bringing the large cap down, and most of my stocks are fine. I only had to get rid of what? IBIT, which is Bitcoin, and SMCI, and I'm gonna have to get rid of UPST. The rest of them are still muito bueno, and I would love to buy more Amazon on the dip. I love to buy more Tesla on the dip. So let's see if we get to party with that over Friday going into the overnight. We just need the market to not be so worried about everything. Everything is shaking the market in their boots. But I will gladly get back into SMCI and IBIT if the setup's there. You know, SMCI, if we do get that breakout above 44, I'm very keen on looking for that setup on SMCI. Okay. Last but not least, do I have something else to talk about? What else do I have to talk about? I talked about the IPO calendar. We position managed live on stream a little bit. We talked about my watch list, which I don't think will be as important tomorrow, because, you know, things are already getting shaken up. IPO calendar. I guess last but not least would just be talking about my affiliate sponsors. Go check out the Linktree page. I'll see you guys next week, Monday. You know, have a great weekend, have a great market, have a great free fall Friday, and kill it out there. Go make some money. And obviously, make sure you're managing your swing accounts, because if you're not managing your swing accounts and being a bag holder, That's the worst thing you can do for your accounts. That's the worst thing you can do for your accounts. You can always get back into the trade. You don't have to watch the trade go down and watch your profits diminish. You can take your profits and get back into the trade on the dip. Dip buying, like you said, has been working. So buy the dip, especially if you have profits and you're watching your profits diminish when the market's going down. Take your profits, use EMA trails like the 5 EMA trails, your 9 EMA trails, your 21 EMA trails. Use your EMA trails. Use the trails also to take losses. If the stocks are just now breaking out but then getting back down, and then are after breaking back below the breakout, they're not holding the 9 EMA, the 21 EMA, the 5 EMA after a recent breakout, then why even bother holding that for a stock for a loser? Because buying the dip works. No, it doesn't make sense. Take that quick little loss and then get back in on the next breakout. Nothing really changed. You just had to manage the risk on that position. The position never really changed. The setup didn't really change. The market environments changed a little bit. You know, a bomb got dropped here and a bomb got dropped there. Elon's not friends with Trump anymore, and Trump's not friends with Elon anymore. Things like that will move the market, yes. So you have to manage your risk, but nothing really changed on that setup at the end of the day. So if SMCI goes right back into that setup and gives me that long again, I will jump right back into that trade. So I have to take a loss when I have to, but also very keen on jumping right back in on this name. So 2 losers today, but still I booked a lot of winners today on RDW, on PL, and I'm actually glad I trimmed PL today, because boy oh boy, watching the market go down is scary. RDW I trimmed today too. Surprisingly enough, Robinhood is not shaking too much to the downside for me. It's still at 71. I'm still up 8% on Robinhood. I'm still up 10% on PL. I'm still up, 12% on TMDX. So portfolio's still good. Portfolio's still good. Couple spots we did take a hit today. That's all. All right, guys. Tomorrow day trade's gonna be spicy. I'll catch you guys Monday. Obviously, my trades will be posted on Twitter. Make sure you go follow the social media, all of that fun stuff, and my affiliate sponsors. If you guys are interested in the software that I actually use to trade with, those are in that link below. I will see you guys Monday. Peace. Bye. TraderPrad, I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.